Why do people believe they aren't creative and how to change it? So, do you still remember when you were a little kid, you painted all these crazy paintings, colorful, it made no sense, it was just scribbles, but it was a lot of fun. Or when your parents took you on a road trip and you were sitting in the car and you just looked out of the window, there's a big factory, a big chimney, and yeah, it's not smoke that came outside, it was a cloud machine. It produced the clouds in the sky. So as a kid, your mind had all these crazy but funny ideas, and you tried to make sense of the world in your own creative way, puzzling the pieces together in your mind by yourself without anyone telling you how it's supposed to be. So the question comes up, when and why did the world become such a gray place? Well, before it was crazy and fun and colorful, and it was mysterious and you explored. Why suddenly is everything gray and structured and a lot of people feel trapped? When did that happen and why? I think that everyone watching this is a unique and amazing person, and that everyone deeply inside is creative. It's just your beliefs in your mind and society that is forcing you to think in certain patterns, and over time you neglect your inner child, your inner self, your inner creativity. So let's figure out why is that so, and let's take a look at a couple stories. From my experience, there are certain key events in everyone's life which try to destroy one's creativity for a certain purpose. The first big event for me was when I went to school for the very first time, and suddenly I was confronted with a new mindset for my life. While I think you should never stop learning and that studying is very important, schools at that age to me felt like you have to remember the facts. If you forget them, you get punished, and if you remember them, you get a reward. Your parents will be happy. It made me feel very trapped and stressed. I felt like I wasn't myself. One day my father bought this really strange old computer, like a really big one, white, and it was Windows 95, big gray keyboard, very slow, and it made these strange beeping sounds. My mom always got very angry when I used it because she couldn't use the telephone while I was on the internet. But while school was very gray for me, at home I had this outlet. I had this computer and this like mysterious new world that was waiting inside of it, and it made life very, very pleasant. I was looked forward to it. I rushed home and I was just happy. From the basic paintings in Microsoft Paint to exploring Microsoft Word to lightsaber effects and video editing, explosions on homemade camcorder footage. I tried to explore as much as I can, and it was very fun. I tried to balance my boring school life with this amazing digital colorful world that was waiting outside. While this was a lot of fun, it came with a little problem. One day when I went to school, I wanted to, really excited, tell the kids about what I can do, that you can create imaginary worlds in the computer, that you can explore your wildest, your sci-fi worlds, fantasy worlds. The kids, they didn't like that so much. They quickly said things like, oh, look at Timo. He's going to the forest with sticks. He thinks he's a Star Wars fighter. And while this was my big passion, it quickly made me a target. And yeah, kids started to pick on me. They started to attack me for no reason, simply because I was different. And now thinking back, while my parents always gave me complete freedom to choose whatever I want to do, their parents didn't. They forced them into soccer clubs, football, playing instruments. They had a tight schedule. They had school and then more, which was the society average. Everyone did it. They all hang out together. So if there's a kid who goes to the forest and creates digital worlds in a computer which nobody had at that time. Of course that's different. Of course that makes him a target. So at the time, I quickly learned that following your passion, your pure passion, what interests you, it can be whatever you want, might be not the best idea, because society has these standards and these ideals how everyone should be. And in Germany at the time it was soccer, instruments, a lot of sports for guys. So you quickly find out that if you follow your creative and artistic inspiration, you look odd, you stick out, you become the nail that sticks out. And oh boy, there are plenty of hammers out there. Then I was 16 years old and it was hard for me. The kids still didn't like me, and suddenly my parents also were against me because my grades were suddenly becoming worse and worse, because school was not a place of fun anymore. It was more like a place I was forced to go, where people attacked me, where people tried to force me into something that I wasn't. And it felt like the entire world was against me. I almost failed in class several times. I almost got kicked from school, and yeah, because I didn't fit in. So at the time, I thought of myself as crazy, as strange. What is wrong with me? But now I look at it as unique. So what did I do? I buried it. My life got splitted. Well, this was my life before. It split into the creative part, which is what I really want to do, and the mask for school, where I just put it on. I just act like I'm interested in cars and in sports, in soccer, and yeah, my life just became incredibly splitted. While in school, I had this boring, average life. I fit in, but kids finally left me alone. And when I came home, everything was colorful. I could follow my passion. And oh boy, I became probably the biggest nerd in my town, in my area, about visual effects. It reached the point where I got requests from agencies if I can do visual effects for them. And they wanted to call me, but I couldn't pick up the phone because my voice was like a 16-year-old, and I tried to hide it. But they thought that I was, much older, that I had experience, that I studied it. It was a funny time. It really split into the two extremes. So at the time, since I couldn't take the calls or I couldn't get money for it, I just did a lot for free. It was my playground, really. Then the second key event came after I graduated from university. I started my first job. Can you believe it? Someone said I can finally choose my passion and make money from it. What did I get? Tight schedule, low payment, lots of deadlines, coworkers which secretly hate you because your chair is better than theirs. So instead of amazing creative projects and amazing challenges and learning and opportunities, there was a lot of micromanagement, tight deadlines, stress, and again, from passion became a strict prison, a schedule, a gray life, which I wasn't really proud to go to every day. I was trapped again. It's really ironic, actually. All these years you go to school and university to study for something, and then society tells you, finally, you can follow your passion, you can do whatever you want. And you follow your passion in a job, and this job just takes your passion, your creativity, and tries to monetize it and kills it, turns your passion into something that, becomes a routine, becomes a cage again, and you end up with nothing. The only thing that inspired you, that had you daydreaming, now is a struggle, is pain. So very similar to how it was in school, where people just try to fit in so they don't become a target. Your first job is level number 2, it takes the only thing left over, which is your true passion, your true inspiration, your little escape and freedom, and it takes your creative approach, your free thinking, into an effective system. Which, yes. And then if you look around yourself in your job, you can see that many people get stuck in this loop, this cycle, and they continue and continue till it becomes a burnout or midlife crisis. There's even the word these days is the quarter-life crisis. Many of my friends have felt it. I complained enough. So let's take a look at some ways how you can break the cycle and break free to embrace your creativity. About 2 years ago, I started a little experiment. While I was still working, I said to myself, what if each evening I take 30 minutes each evening to do something that I like to do? For example, to create an artwork, something that has nothing to do with work, just something that I personally am very curious about and want to try. So if you like painting, you can paint for 30 minutes each evening. Or if you like to make crazy lightsaber movies in the forest, you can also do that. The important thing is, don't force it. Don't pressure it. Block out 30 minutes if you can, just for yourself, so you can have freedom and fun. And if you don't want to do anything, don't do anything. It's really about just bringing this playfulness, time for playfulness back into your life, because everything is determined by other people. So you want to make some time for yourself. So in the first year, it started from literally nothing. I just posted my artworks on Instagram, one every day, just a little bit, no pressure, just something I really want to do. I got feedback and I felt more creative than ever. It was amazing. I felt like every day during these 30 minutes, my soul really gets recharged. And when I do it, it's like a meditation. I just forget about time. I forget about everything. I just focus truly on the moment, and I'm just very happy. Also, I could see the learning curve. While at the beginning, my art, I thought it was good. By posting every day, you could really see how it improved step by step. And after 1 year, you could see that my creative ideas just went from level 1 to level 100. It was just a difference like day and night. It was very interesting. Then in the second year, something crazy happened. COVID-19. I wasn't able to go outside. My friends were locked up. And since I live in Germany, I have many friends in Italy. And I saw that the quarantine affected them insanely. So I wanted to use my new hobby, my creativity, to do something for all the people affected by the quarantine. So I picked a city which was most affected. The first one was Milan. And I created a series called The Return of Nature, where I take a city and I envision it in beautiful flowers and nature. So for all the people who cannot go outside to experience the spring, they can at least see it digitally. And it draws all the way back to when I was a kid, where I built these dream worlds. Now I could do it for people affected by a pandemic, which was very cool. And then the crazy thing happened. It didn't take long, and the series went from a few hundred clicks to 20 million. 20 million views. And my profile, my little art profile, went from 10,000 followers to 100,000. There were 90,000 new people who were inspired by my little creative hobby and shared it with their friends. It helped them during the pandemic, and that was just mind-blowing for me. And then quickly after, all the emails rushed in. 2 per week, 3 per week. The world's largest clients, the brands, fashion, music, technology. And guess what I did? I quit my job, and now I'm here. I have nobody to micromanage me. I simply sell ideas to dream worlds. What I did as a kid, everyone attacked me about it. My inner creativity. Just how crazy is that? So I asked myself, if 30 minutes each evening had so much impact on me, my job, but also on all the people that got inspired, that might have started and that helped their friends during the pandemic, that loved my art, enjoyed it. What could 30 minutes do for another person? My little series changed the fashion industry and also the music industry in this year quite a bit, really a bit. So I'm asking myself, what if someone from another profession, from another job, maybe someone who does something great for the environment, or someone in technology, what if they start a challenge where for 30 minutes each evening they just do something that is truly from their heart, that is their creativity, that is playful, that is something where they completely forget about time. A simple move that you only block out 30 minutes each day for yourself, or even less, maybe 10 minutes. So think about it. If someone, a 27-year-old from rural Germany, how my art can reach 20 million people just from committing 30 minutes, a little bit of time every day to a creative outlet, to yourself, to your inner child, to your inner creativity, how can it change your life? How in return can it change the world? What if you're an engineer or you're doing something completely crazy? How could it change everything? So I encourage you, try it for yourself. Just try it for 2 weeks. I think you will love it. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope you have an amazing day.